right, boys, let's go.
Okay.
6:35, it's not too late. It was cold out here this morning. It's like 29 degrees, but warming back up. Good morning, Ruby. Hey, Donnie. I'll see you later.
Yes, ma'am. You hurry home.
We have a spring picture of a robin to enjoy this morning. All right, I'll see you guys at clubs this afternoon.
I'll see you. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Love you.
The sun was out for a little while this morning, but now the clouds are back, and looking at the forecast, it's for 47 and mostly cloudy today. However, tomorrow says mostly sunny, so maybe we'll see the sun. I could use a little bit of vitamin D and sunshine, I think. So I'm driving in this morning to downtown Raleigh, and my cell phone rang, which of course rang into the car, and it was one of my neighbors from the old neighborhood who was actually next to me over here in the lane and just wanting to say hello. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't passed each other before in the morning, because we're both going up 401 into the Raleigh area at the same time. So anyway, it was nice to chat for just a second. Today is robotics club, and I'm not prepared. Yeah, I try to never wait until Thursday. I mean, I gave it a little bit of thought yesterday. I sort of know what we want to do. But my struggle is possibly starting the Sumobot prep a little too early, because the competition isn't until May, and I don't want us to be like all done and bored. But I'm kind of, today I think I'm going to do another Computer Science Unplugged, CS Unplugged exercise about sorting networks, and talk to the kids a little bit about how, what types of algorithms computers use to do sorting. And then I'm going to introduce Sumobots, assuming I can go home and build the bot, which is tiny, and more importantly, find the working code that we used the last time and get it on the bot. And I'll take the table in and give a little demonstration. And what I really need for them to do, since these are older kids than what I've worked with in the past, because in the past I worked with elementary school kids, is to get them thinking about the design of their bot. You know, they're old enough to come up with it themselves, search online, research it a little bit. So I guess at the end of today's meeting, my hope would be to send them off to go think about what we're going to do, how they want to build their bot. So I also have a little bit of a surprise today. Michelle was in a position where she had an extra ticket to Phantom of the Opera tonight up at the DPAC, the Durham Performing Arts Center. Her husband had gotten tickets for their entire family, and as it turns out, he's not able to go with them. So she offered the ticket to me. Now, of course, my boys are not going to be too upset that they're not going to Phantom of the Opera, and it is an exciting opportunity. So Michelle's going to drive to my house, and I'm going to drive us all up there and handle the car and the parking and that kind of thing, because it can be sort of a nightmare. I guess I'm trying to decide if I want to drive Ruby or if I want to drive my van, because if I drive my van, then I can just sling into any old parking spot and not have to worry about door dings. And her kids are all really used to getting in and out of my van, because in past years we've gone down to the beach and museums and the bird park and all these places in my van. Or do I want to take Ruby, because I'm going to be driving at night and I'm just more used to driving her now. So I got to give it a little bit of thought. My first thought was take the van, and it needs to be driven and the gas used up a little bit, and not have to worry so much about, you know, damage to Ruby or where I would park Ruby. But I don't know. I'm waffling on it. I guess I'll talk with Dawn about it a little more. But at any point, as soon as I get home from robotics, I've got to basically get on out the door with those guys to go see Phantom of the Opera. I think I'm going to have Don take Johnny to Taekwondo since he'll be with his father again this weekend because they have family visiting in town. We've swapped weekends. He really can't go Saturday and he needs his 3 days this week. So I think I'll ask Don to take him in. I got corned beef brisket at Whole Foods yesterday, so I should be able to just put that in the pot. And Don can add some cabbage for the last little bit, and they'll have them a good meal, so I won't have to feel guilty they're not eating well. Yeah, you know, us moms, before we take off for the night, we got to make sure the guys are fed. Yeah. So I'm headed back to the house now. I've played Pokemon Go a little bit, and I got to get busy on my Lego stuff. Oh, and one other thing. Before bed last night, Don and I watched Jack Rickard's video about the Model 3. I'm not going to repeat the title of the video. It's not really a kid show, but certainly is a good show for adults, especially guys, to tune into. But he had the 3 up on a lift, and he took off some of the panels in the underbody, and he showed the suspension and talked about possible changes to the suspension, and had some comments about the permanent magnet motor. Is it or isn't it? And it's interesting. It's a different kind of an in-depth on the Model 3 than maybe, you know, what you've seen on some other channels. So if you're interested on what a Tesla, in particular the Model 3, looks like with some of the underbody covers off, that would be a good video to go check out, and I will put the link in today's video description. The cats are trained. They hear the driveway alert go off and they come to the door and wait on me. So Don got my Sumobot table down from the attic, and I've built 2 rudimentary robots, and I'm getting ready to load the software on them and keep my fingers crossed that they'll do their little pattern around the table for demonstration without me having to spend too much time tinkering on it. Obviously the cats are curious. Sumobot table. Half table, will travel. Yeah, Don got it out of the attic for me, and then he loaded it up for me out here. I'll have to get somebody to carry it over at the school, or just take that in a trip by itself. We'll see. Maybe Joey will come out. I feel like I didn't see Don today because basically I got home at 8:45 and I went out to the garage and built the 2 little robots. And then I came in the house and I fought my program. I couldn't remember what I did 2 years ago, and I didn't write enough notes. Guess that'll be part of my lecture to the boys today. But anyway, finally got the code working, and I think I'm ready. I'm as ready as I'm going to be for today at any point. Go. Now you're going to see it flash 5 times. That's the 5-second counter.
Go, come on, go.
Jimmy Jam has a straight on collision.
Go.
Yeah. Oh. I would, on your mark, I would say, get set, go.
No. It's the biggest fireball so far.
So we got a better start this time, right? They didn't find each other right away. They don't technically, and I'll explain in the code, but they don't know where each other are right now.
Oh, Jimmy Jam.
Yeah. Still moving. Come on, go.
He's attached. Now that's a problem because technically he's not going to be able to push it off because he's pulling it. Well, this is actually good because you guys can see what I was saying, where wires and things that cause you to get attached. But I'm going to tell you, this match will go the whole...
We're going to push Jimmy Jam off.
Oh! So technically, I tried to make the battle...
Kids go head on.
Are we tied right now? Each is 1-1?
Let's see a comeback happen. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. Come on, little boy. So the bottom sensor.
Backs up.
So do the bottom sensor.
Then right backs up.
Yes.
Eyes on Jimmy Jam. Jimmy Jam backs up. There we go.
Push. Oh no.
Distant push behind. Now what will he do? Now Jimmy Jam scoots back. They're still going for each other. Oh my god, Jimmy Jam found Relicans.
Oh.
No. Jimmy Jam is struggling. Jimmy Jam is heavily struggling to push him off. But will he push him off? Seems like stalemate right now. They're going round and round circles. Bro, look at this.
Now here's where we need deadlock code.
Get back into the stalemate.
And right now they're not programmed to do anything in the deadlock.
Looks like they're about in the deadlock right now, where each of them
Are they getting a little closer to the border? No, they're back toward the middle again.
Do you want me to like
Maybe
wave my
something
hand
might
in
happen.
front?
Maybe something so that these two bots are equally strong in power.
So the referee would call this a tie or an impasse, and he would just pick them up and he would restart them.
Classic drama.
So does everyone understand what we're doing to stop them at the end of the battle? We're pressing that button in the upper left-hand corner. Okay, you guys can start on one more time if you want. I think it's on the program, so just re-trigger it.
Come on.
Come on. We need some people in this village. He's taking pictures.
Oh, push, 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 push. Oh, oh, come on, push, 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 push.
But we never know.
Come on, little boy.
Come on, push, 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 push. So Lego League was pretty successful today. I laid all of the groundwork for the Sumobot competition. Of course, the boys getting to run the bots was probably their favorite part. Some kids out in the hall heard and they came in to see what all the excitement was about. That was cool. We won't meet again until 3/29. That's because of the Italy trip preparation next week and then spring break. And I gave them some homework to come up with their design a little bit. Yeah, so hopefully they'll work on that. I'm going to pull Ruby into the garage. I am still trying to make up my mind what I'm going to drive. At 134 miles, I do have enough range to get back to Durham if I need to. I've gone 84 miles today. Like I said, I do have plenty of range if I wanted to do that. All right, we made it into my van. We're not late. Nope. We're not early either. I'm trying to survive driving this thing that I don't remember how to drive. And if I see a Tesla up there, I'm going to cry because I'm going to miss Ruby so much.
Look at that weird thing at the front.
Oh, yeah. My goodness, he's going to stop right in the middle? Oh, he's waiting.
What the heck?
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
It's almost like a carnival
that's
car.
the one that's parked over by Holly Grove Middle. Yeah.
Is it
So apparently there's some sort of an accident while we wait for the light to turn green. But yeah, so we're all dressed up
Yep, as fun as we can be.
and ready to go. This is why we don't have Ruby. Parking is a disaster. We have a message for Sean, and the message is we don't want to walk 300 stairs to get to our seats the next time. This is my first time inside the Durham Performing Arts Center. I'm sure I said earlier, but we're here to see Phantom of the Opera. So what did we think of Phantom of the Opera?
That was good. Loved it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Money well spent.